at the beginning of the road to the state championship in individual competition in high school wrestling. This is the Division I sectional finals coming to you from Hamilton Gymnasium, Hamilton High School. I'm Dave Bean, and with me is my sidekick, Greg Klein, somewhere, who's, oh, here he comes. He's diving over the chair now, putting on a, and so we've got a parade of champions. We've got 3 mats filled with wrestlers out here, Greg. They're going to be wrestling simultaneously with a championship mat right here in front of us, a 3rd place mat and a 5th place mat. The top 4 from here go where?
They go to next week, where we'll be at Kettering Fairmont, Dayton, and then the week after that to the state at Schottenstein. So this, although 1 through 4 has kind of been decided that they're going, it's important for placement as to next week who they wrestle, because the 1st place finisher here will face a 4th place finisher in the 1st round and the 2nd versus 3rd. So although they've kind of punched their ticket in the first 4, it's still important for next week and for the following week. And the 5th place matches are important, as we've seen, a couple of sectionals or several guys haven't made weight, and so if you're 5th place, you're the alternate. Something happens, you have a skin problem, somebody gets sick or hurts themselves in practice, hey, you're going to get the call and you're going to be wrestling, and stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I've seen it happen a couple times over the years. Just to give you an idea who we've got here, we have Mason and Fairfield, Elder, St. X, Sycamore, Harrison, Coleraine, Princeton, Walnut Hills, Western Hills, Mount Healthy, Winton Woods, one of the home gang there, and Hamilton. We have 2 of our what we call Waycross teams here, Coleraine and Winton Woods. Our 3rd team is over at the sectional that's being wrestled over at Lebanon. And so it looks at this point, and I don't have the scores right here in front of me, but Mason is out in front and Elder is 2nd. That's interesting, because those were the 2 teams that represented this area in the state team duel competition before. But here we are, getting ready to go here at 106 pounds.
And quite honestly, a big match here at 106. 2 kids that could have designs on state placement here. From Fairfield, Zach Shoup. He's 29-1, and he's a freshman. And his opponent
is a sophomore from Mason. This is Zach Donathan. Zach last year won the district and was a 6th place finisher. In addition, he's won 5 other tournaments this summer, or this winter. This summer, this is far from summer, isn't it?
Well, we interviewed Zach last year after a state placement match.
That's right.
He and the next weight up to the 113-pounder returning wrestlers, and expect great expectations for him this year. Get back to Columbus and move up the podium.
Yep. That's the object of things at this point. He's only a sophomore, and yet I've seen him at the state duels, and we saw him at the Classic, the Glen Sample Smoker Classic in December. And this kid is much more mature than a sophomore normally is.
He's wrestled a lot, but there's quite a difference in body style and size. Shoup's about probably 4 inches shorter, a little stockier, looks a little stronger, but Donathan's got much longer reach and a lot of advantage that way. Both, like you said, wrestle in the summer, and both come from excellent programs. Both come from GMC schools. They've seen each other before. Excuse me. Heavy on the head. Both of them kind of low, but neither of them in a really aggressive attacking situations.
Most of the teams in this tournament are all in the GMC too, and so these guys have seen one another. This isn't the first time they've been on the mat.
We've got Princeton here, and I was up this morning up at Centerville, where there's both the Lakota schools, East and West, and Middletown, and oh, nice. Got that little outside little had the far.
Goes right away, heads right away to get back points out of it. And I really like to see that.
That's that freestyle motion, that tilting. And long arms, gets across, tight waist all the way across, gets that far arm.
That makes the score here at the end of the first period. Zach Donathan, 4. And Zach Shoup from Fairfield still is waiting to score. 4-0.
Well, the good thing is we know Zach's going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, we
can call this match, right?
I won't screw that one up. I usually manage to get the wrong winner in there.
Look at this boy, Donathan's still working for that tilt, forcing that head down, he wants to take him forward. And Ships, again, see that more compact body, he takes that little roll through, almost got himself out, got his hips facing the other way.
Well, Donathan has a lot of leverage advantage, but it's hard to control the shorter body frame in underneath that length. So it's not unexpected to see Shoup turn.
Trying again. He's got him turned this time.
More points.
He's in there tight with that.
Donathan has been wrestling most of the season at 113 pounds. So he's been.
Okay, 7-0. He's getting ready to turn him again. This is going to be tight here. Boy, just those extra long arms. He's actually reaching all the way over him.
Yeah.
And catching the far.
Yeah.
So 3 more.
Far side.
It's the third tilt. Yeah.
Hard to do unless you got those long arms. And with a long leg, sometimes you see a lot of leg riding. But Donathan seems to he freezes the near leg and then runs his tilts. But again, as you said before, that's his freestyle.
He's deciding whether to give him one. Didn't get the point till after they were out. Now in college, that would have been an escape because the other wrestler was still in bounds. But here,
here's the team scores. This was at the end of the consolation semifinals.
Turning him again.
Donathan's racking up points like crazy.
Yeah. 13.
Yep. And this is just the second period.
Right.
But here's team scores. Western Hills has 9, Walnut Hills 16, Hamilton 37.5, Coleraine 38, Mount Healthy 45, Winton Woods 66. This is their best showing in years right now. Princeton 78.5, St. Xavier 95, Sycamore 106, Harrison 110, Fairfield 141, Elder 201, and leading the pack pretty decisively, actually, point-wise, is Mason with 246 points. That was at the end of the the semifinals, consolation
round. Ship decided not to take another 2 minutes of being down. Took neutral that third period. Which would mean if Donathan gets a takedown, it's over, unless he takes him straight to his back. Be that 15-point technical fall.
It's interesting, the way the organization of coaching staffs has gone over the years. It used to be whenever we gave out the information sheets, we'd get it back from the kid. They'd always list the head coach's name, and now it's their weight class coach, So here's Donathan. When you ask him who's your coach, he'll tell you, Coach Root is my coach. Well, yeah, he is, because that's who he sees every day.
Well, he tried to get that ankle pick.
He's got the long arms to use that pick, too.
Well, Shup's just staying low, and Donathan's kind of coming straight at him, which isn't going to be productive. He's got to get a better angle, kind of come to the side, see how he's kind of working now. He's kind of working one way, he'll come back the other way. And that should get him his 2 here if he finishes.
Tight,
there you go.
nice finish.
That's the match. So see how he changed up there, Dave? You know, he was just pushing, and was getting him nowhere.
Yep.
Comes out of a break and changes a little bit of style, and that's what works.
That's you know, that's significant evidence of the solid coaching that these guys get today, and it's interesting. You know, everybody talks about how great Mason is, and they are. It's a wonderful team. They've scored tons of points. Now there are other guys getting in there with kids in the different weight classes. I gather that what we're doing is waiting
per weight
for the
well, that just finished
3rd and 5th place matches to finish.
Right. So now we have the representatives of the number 1 and number 2 place teams here. Again, Patrick Kearney, who we've interviewed last year, who was also 6th place at state last year, 1st at league, 1st at district last year, 1st sectionals. He's 35-5 this year.
He's a senior, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. Talk about a pair of workout partners. This really helps you. His opponent from Elder, Davis, who's it?
This is Austin Murphy. Now, here's a freshman who's making his splash in the water. He's 30-6 this year. He won the GCL tournament as a freshman, and he took 2nd at the Brecksville tournament at 113 pounds.
He did pretty good at SWOCA too. I don't think he
didn't win it.
No, but he did pretty well.
He did well. Yeah.
He kind of burst on the scene as a freshman in his first big tournament.
Yeah, and he's pretty tall, lanky kid himself.
Kearney, this will be a little different style, excuse me, for the Mason wrestlers compared Donathan to Kearney. Kearney's a little stronger, a little shorter. See that front headlock instead of.
I think Mason invested in singlets over the last several years, and every kid had his favorite singlet. And while it's interesting, I'm still concerned about the lack of uniformity at the state tournament. That really bothers me. But they have some interesting styles anyway.
Well, we know which one Elder is. You can look at your screen.
Yep.
See the E. Kearney underneath got that tight elbow. Murphy just blocking off with the far. Well, he's underhooked on the one.
That's obviously where he feels most secure, because
well, he's only potential for, you know, little fireman, little dump, little high crotch.
Kearney can hit you with that little dump of his pretty effectively. And again, here's a guy who has wrestled almost the entire season at 120 pounds. He comes to his alpha weight here at the sectionals, and will continue the rest of the season at 113. There he slides in under. Murphy's got good strength.
Here comes the little dump. See, he went to the single and then back to the dump there.
Yeah, and he kept the arm all the way through that. When those fail so often, here he comes to tilt, and he picked up, and they're out of bounds.
Yeah, he didn't
get his didn't get a 2 count in. Oh, he did give the 2.
Yeah, he just didn't. He counted. He didn't get.
Yeah, he counted. He did.
These two
put it up.
Yeah, you saw the single was quite similar to Donathan the first. That little underhook there, and he kind of slide, push into the left, and then coming back to the right side. All right, 5 seconds. We had a little glitch in the clock, not much. Quite honestly, we'll have less difficulties, I think, in clocking issues now, because this is the state, run, sponsored, sanctioned, whatever you want to call it. Get a little better table workers, not better, but more experienced table workers, I think.
Well, I think that it's again, it's dependent upon part of the responsibility of the host site is to come up with as solid a group of table workers as they can. and they've certainly done so here.
Yeah, Murphy went up, didn't do much hand control. He was kind of waving, you know, didn't come right down to his hips, get the hands, Kearney's hands. And when he stood, Kearney was able to bring him right back to the mat. This is where he starts grinding. This is where the Mason wrestlers start grinding. Now he got a little too aggressive there. Came out.
Now he's going to escape. Austin Murphy of Elder picks up a point and makes it 4-1.
He's locking his hand, looking for that inside trip. Kind of hard to inside trip that with the overhook.
Oh boy,
much better doing it underhook there.
Tell you what, when he makes that attempt, he almost got planted. If that had been in bounds.
So.
It's a good thing this wasn't held last week, Greg.
No.
What happened to the league tournaments? You know, I stayed home and sat by the fire, personally.
Well, you know, interesting. The GMC had theirs 2 weeks earlier.
Oh, was that when they did theirs?
The GMC had theirs.
That's interesting.
2 weeks
I didn't
ago.
know that.
Yeah, and GCL was last week, but you know, they've actually, a lot of these GMC schools in effect had a 2 week, not so much layoff, but as far as they, you know, a lot of schools come in with league, then the next week's section.
Yeah.
They got 4 tournaments in a row.
Yeah, that's hard.
I think it actually could be something some of the schools would look at. Part of that has to do with the rescheduling thing with the state duels. Now you've got to leave.
Yes, that made a big difference. I was talking to a couple of coaches at the state duels, and they were saying that, you know, this is a tough time of year under all circumstances, but with the load of the duels pressing down on these guys, they were having a lot of difficulty keeping the attention up in practice and you know, being ready, because it's, you know, you got to be up week after week after week. It's hard. And we're running out of time here in the second period.
I got an update of scores from up at Lebanon. So we're still wrestling there. Well, looks like Moeller's leading 226 to Glen Estee. Lebanon has 182. So they are wrestling up at Lebanon.
Yeah, they started. I was talking to Dick Lowenstein, the rules interpreter for this part of the state, and I asked him about a rumor that had been running around here, that there'd been a problem at Lebanon that had messed the tournament up, and it appears from his accounting that at a pancake breakfast being held there at Lebanon High School, a propane cylinder exploded, and one 17-year-old girl was burned, and another woman.
Takedown right there. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Another woman that makes it 4-3 here in the third period. Another woman was sent to the hospital as well, and it caused the delay of the start of the sectional until like 11:30 or 12 o'clock. So the results coming in, that we have a foreign correspondent up there at Lebanon that probably is coming. Is it coming from Rick Stegmeyer?
Yeah.
That's our foreign.
They're ahead of us.
Yeah, he's our foreign correspondent. And I told him we'd give him credit as correspondent. And we're in under the last minute of this 120-pound match. And Austin Murphy of Elder maintains a close link to match. Still within scoring, but I'm wondering why he hasn't initiated more on his feet at this point. He's got 25 seconds. Oh, he tried to throw, and that's the mark of an experienced wrestler right there. Murphy made the attempt, but Kearney caught him in that throw attempt, and is going to make him pay for it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sorry about
And that's the end of that the 120-pound match. The winner here from Mason is Patrick. I couldn't think of his first name.
Kearney,
Patrick Kearney. And we move on to 120 pounds.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the other information. Yeah, but so they're through 138 already, and we're through 120. So
yeah,
and a lot of with the sectionals, sometimes if you can keep running them straight through, they don't have.
Yeah.
They need a 45-minute wait time between matches.
Yeah.
So if
they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Right.
You have to wait 45 minutes.
Right.
So if things are running too quick, they'll skip some of the matches. They'll have to wait. You can't wrestle between 45 minutes apart.
Okay, we're going to see some of our underwriters that are making this cablecast and webcast available to you. The Southwestern Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association will be bringing you the slow motion replays from here on all the way to the state tournament. Dr. Steve Daly at UC Health, one of our longtime supporters. Kevin Riley, who now is with Tri-Health in orthopedics, and again, one of our loyal medical supporters over the years. Keller and Klein Incorporated. I don't know what they do. One does ask once in a while if it's legal. I'm not sure.
Not much. Don't do much.
Foster and Motley. They're financial planners and run a really excellent program in the Madeira area. Cincinnati Functional Fitness comes back from being away from us for a sponsorship from 2 years ago. And great physical fitness training there, designed for your sport. General Advertising Products. Bruce Howland, who was a basketball player, is the guy out there you want to talk to. Cincinnati Sub-Zero for all kinds of hot and cold needs in medicine and industry. Tim Cunningham, one of our loyal voices here, himself is an underwriter. And this weight is being brought to you by Keller and Klein. This is 126 pounds.
Oh, it should be a good weight then.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's nothing. Sycamore finally get another GMC matchup, another 120 matchup here.
It is 120.
From Sycamore, Kyle Green in the black singlet, if you will. He's got the front headlock in. He's a sophomore. Can't read much of what he's got here, but 28-10 is his record. Who's he wrestling?
Colin Schuster's a sophomore from Mason. He this year is 29-10. He won the GMC, and he has a 59-28 overall career record. And if he wins this, then it'll, of course, make him a district qualifier. He did qualify as a freshman 2 years ago. Well, last year, because he's a sophomore now.
Well, it should be, nice single.
Nice.
Now he's got to switch that up to the double here, and he'd be fine.
Didn't trap down on that arm. If he'd have trapped the arm, he could have hit him with a short fireman's carry or a dump. But
he's still in good position. He really should. Now he's got him laid out. Schuster.
Schuster was the #1 seed in this weight, and Green was the #2 seed. So the seed system worked out.
Yeah.
Just the way it was.
But I think
predicted.
Green was fourth in league, and Schuster was first, right?
Yeah. So Schuster has the offensive position, the top position here at the start of the second period. 120 pounds. Mason versus Sycamore.
He's trying to do that, work the tilt a little bit. Not as aggressively as his teammates earlier. And part of that's experience, you know, being at state level. But he's working at. Got the leg in. I think he's going to be, he's got to start doing a little more than that, or the officials might start warning for stalling.
Yeah, well,
he's kind of sitting up on a hip.
Bottom man's got to, Green's got to come up there and show some, make some effort as well.
He's got to make some effort, but the criteria for this, the bottom guy's got to
I understand.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to show lack of motion.
Yeah, he sure has covered the hips. And
yeah, see, that's right there. He's just riding.
See, the referee, Danny Meyer, is right now, I think, getting ready to.
Yeah, he should be.
Well, maybe not.
He's just sitting on the hips here.
Well, this would be a great ride in college.
Right.
Now he's trying to get him turned.
Well,
now out of the time runs out, and we're down to the third period with no score. And Schuster of Mason chooses the defensive position.
He's worn down the Sycamore wrestler Green quite a bit here. You can see looks a lot more tired.
Yeah, he's breathing hard.
Yeah, he's doing the same thing, looking for the tilt. Little spiral ride here. Gotta get off your knees and go back in that little crab ride.
Yeah, Schuster spun inside pretty good and get into that leg in good shape.
Now what Green needs to do is do just exactly what he did. Give up one, not two.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't going to get out the way he was riding. So now he's got a shot at a takedown. You know, the takedown wins it. And he's got a little front headlock. There's that little, trying a little front dump, get the elbow.
At least he's got that arm trapped tight. That's important, and this is a good camera angle. Again, thanks to the work of the remarkable people, the volunteers at Waycross. You know that Tony Suarez, our producer here for these programs, was worried, terribly worried, a few hours ago when he showed up and was informed that they were talking about starting a half hour earlier than what had been at least posted. And he was afraid that his crew wouldn't be here, but it seems like the crew is used to wrestling tournaments that for some reason the organizers don't seem to follow the information they put out to the public, and it kind of makes it hard to plan ahead.
Well, from Green's point of view, can't tie up. He's getting nothing if he ties up. So he reaches for the head again.
The shots are short.
I didn't set it up. He hasn't set it up.
Yeah, he just taps and goes.
It's going to be a 1-0
I would have to say these two are going to have a pretty difficult time of it once they leave the sectional, the confines of their sectional. They're going to have to up their production as they go.
Okay, that's a 120 pound.
And we're going to.
Here come some more people that are volunteering their time and money.
Here, if you want to help with future productions, whether it be wrestling or some other activity that you're interested in, give Waycross a call at 825-2429. You can also go to www.waycross.tv/volunteer and leave your information there, and can just about assure you you're going to hear from a producer that's trying to get a show off the ground. I had to do that. I had to put out an appeal for workers for the this year's state tournament, and I did. And interestingly, we ended up with a guy who's a previous state champion and the guy who did the video coverage of that 34 years ago. I heard
he owes it all to his coach too.
Well, I don't think so. I think it's,
that's just what I heard.
I think that he grew up in a wrestling family, and if he didn't win, he was going to get flogged at home.
No, he got flogged before he won.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how.
Well, here we go at 126 pounds.
All right, Nathan Williams from Mason. This is a never-ending story for Mason. 25-10. He's a junior. Put together pretty well.
His opponent's a sophomore from Elder. He's the #1 seed in the weight class. This is Jake Meredith, and he was third last year as a freshman at 126 pounds. This year he's 30-10.
Interesting. I see a lot of similarities. You said they put the assistant coaches down at Mason.
Right. Yeah.
And Teak Fu is his coach, former wrestler at Lakota.
Yep.
And I see a lot of similarities in the kind of the energy level and the way they work. He's taken on a little bit of the coach's persona.
Actually, I think Williams is a fairly new wrestler. I don't think this is a junior. I think this is first-year wrestling.
Well, this is the only thing he's got listed.
At the varsity level.
Finished third at the league.
I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. Also understand that he's possibly the strongest guy on the team, pound for pound.
It doesn't look like there's much body fat there, Dave.
No. Those legs look like they can...
Like a young Dave Bean. Well, there's your inexperience.
Yes, sir. That's a little bit too much muscle and not sufficient technique. But holy mackerel, he's doing a fairly good job of
there's some good technique.
Fighting it off there.
Elder wrestler just stepping across, using the leverage.
Meredith
not going to get 5, he's going to get 3.
Yep.
Nice.
Got 2.
2?
That's what he.
How does he only get 2?
I don't know. That's what Jason Roush, the head coach at Elder, wants to know. He's out here in front of the score table right now. There you go. 1, 2.
I don't know where you get
3,
only 2 points for that.
4. I don't know either.
Somebody lost count here.
I don't understand that because we counted
1. I mean,
there's 4 right there. Unless they.
You can't possibly think that didn't break 45.
Oh, man, I don't know. Well, he's the guy that calls it, so that's what you live with. Williams is pretty quick as well as being pretty strong.
4-1. See this. This is not aggressive wrestling right here. Nobody's gonna. They can stay there all day and nothing will happen.
Well,
the older kid's just staying.
Down to the.
I call them both. At some point there, got to come back up to your feet and wrestle.
Dave Schultz. Shades of Dave Schultz. Well, you're old enough to remember him, right?
Yeah.
Like I say, Mason comes up with these interesting combination of uniforms.
Looking for that head and arm again. Little toss.
This one's what I guess you call camouflage. I think I did see that Williams has a goal to become a Marine, so maybe that's his Marine camo.
Head to head there, nothing's going to happen there.
No. Twenty seconds left in the second period. Jake Meredith of Elder.
He's winning 4-1.
Doesn't have to do much else because Williams has got to come out and take charge here if he wants to win this.
Is the inexperience showing up here a little bit?
Yeah.
Not getting any angle. He's taking all his shots direct
straight
on.
lines.
So, you got to work.
Yep.
You got to work to accomplish something, not just to work. And he's going to cut him anyway. So,
well, they're on their feet.
yeah, if I'm the Elder kid, I just stay in the circle here. I can go down here.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I'm not doing any less than he is. So this is like, so you got to set something up here. Got to work. Got to change angles.
Went to that head and arm again.
That he didn't need.
Oh, down there's into a double. And picks up the takedown. That's a nice combination.
Save the three.
Kicks him.
Cut him loose. Locking hands though too. So it's going to be a 7-3 here in a second.
Whoa.
Locking hands, you got to stop it. Should have stopped it way before that.
Well, we're going to bounce around a little bit out here.
Yeah.
Well, Williams certainly is, well, as we said, going in. This guy's strong, and he certainly displayed that strength and remarkable agility to kick that around. Now we've got Mason coaches in conference with the officials. Now we got the head coach into it.
7-3. Scores right. So you can't give him a takedown. Once you have the illegal hold, you can't let the other wrestler.
It's an interesting. There was an interesting thing on the sideline here as well. Mason's head coach came out and wanted to talk about.
You can only have two guys.
He's not allowed to do that.
That's right.
And he was just informed of that effect.
I don't know what the heck he's even arguing about.
I think he wanted back points for a takedown.
You know, once you have illegal hold.
I don't know where you.
The only thing you allow is the wrestler who's been, getting the point, get his opportunity to escape or reverse or anything. But you don't let the illegal hold allow an advantage to the wrestler who made the illegal hold.
Minute left in the match. 7-3. Jake Meredith of Elder in charge here.
Sure. He's going to give it up again. Yep.
Nope, no takedown yet. Elder keeps coming back with one thing and
no points.
No points, out of bounds.
7-3. He's telling him, do not lock up with this kid.
I wouldn't, and I'm sitting over here.
Yeah, go down on the leg. There
Meredith,
you go.
Yeah.
He hurt us, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, with 15.9 seconds The last thing available is some kind of a throw to the back. That's about it.
You just do.
And Meredith is shrewd enough to get down on the leg.
Get on an ankle and hold it.
Yep.
He's not stronger than this kid, but he's more experienced. And I think the experience is paying off here. Elder wins 7-3.
That was pretty interesting.
A lot of excitement there, wasn't there?
Match. Yeah. They were throwing around, jumping around out there the way those upper weights do sometimes. I mean, when the upper weights show up. And I think we've got other matches going on over there.
I think that should be over. I think we're getting ready to bring the next group in from Princeton. Another GMC wrestler. Another GMC matchup, I should say. Sam Meddings, 132-pound sophomore. First in league last year. 25-9 this year. 27-9 last year. Who's he got? Well, we don't have a Mason guy finally. So.
Well, yeah, this is a Princeton guy. This is Anthony Alexander. He's a senior. He's been a 32-pounder for a number of years. He jumped to 38 last year, then came back down.
He's a thrower. I think he likes to toss.
He won the Greenon tournament this year.
Yeah.
And Princeton's had a real young team this year. But they're working at it.
Yeah.
They're working hard at it.
You say Fairfield's in third place here? They look like they're going to get 6 guys out.
Alexander is the #1 seed in the weight. This is not one of those weights that loaded with lots of experience. So,
Medding's a good wrestler. He's coached by Jason Laughlin and Barney Wayhoff in the corner there. He's got the under. Blocking off.
you guys have seen one another a couple times over the season too, I'm sure.
Well, like I said, Medding's pretty experienced for a sophomore. He's already got over 50 wins in 2 years. A little underhook there. 18 seconds. Not a lot going on here.
For guys that are supposed to be throwers, or for anyone who's supposed to be a thrower, this first period has been pretty defensive.
Just a lot of blocking off, a lot of blocking, not a lot of.
Second period, still nothing. It's anybody's match.
Yep.
Well, we got points on the board.
Alexander tried to get a little aggressive there and didn't have it. Got too high. And trying to get that. They're both underhooking there. A little pummeling. Just pummeling back and forth. Waiting for the other guy to lean in a little bit. That is what happens a lot of times, Dave, when you wrestle somebody so many times. You know how to counter. You're used to your expectations of them. you know each other too well, really. So you tend to.
Just as an aside, over on the third place mat, Cornell Beecham of Winton Woods is in the match for third.
He just got fourth, Dave.
He just got fourth, just lost to Fry of Harrison.
But he does qualify. He'll be there next week at districts.
Yep. Jason, head coach Jason Dean's going to stop by here in a little bit. We'll
line him up.
See what his thoughts are.
We've got an extra headset here. We can have him sit down. Harrison. Got the 2. Now he's got a. Medding's got wow. So basically, that whole flurry got down to nothing.
3-2.
Yep. So Medding's still up by 1. So for Alexander, it's important that he try and get to 1. It's 10 seconds to go. And, he didn't do that. Okay, so third period. Princeton down 1.
The number 1 seed is down by 1.
Right. Anthony Alexander. Okay. There's a replay. See, trying a little half front Granby, not very good, but luckily got off his back, so he didn't have to. Spiral ride by Meddings.
Sitting down with us is a very disappointed Winton Woods head coach. He was really looking for that third place win, weren't you, Coach?
Yes, sir. I was hoping we could get him this time.
We couldn't see the score down there, but we saw who got the hand held up. What can you tell us about that match?
You know, you just got to be better prepared to go. I think he's coming off a big win. He's a freshman. You know, he made districts. He was happy, I think, to be there. And just, you know, he wrestled that kid yesterday, and it was a real tight match. It was the same kid. He lost to him in the console bracket, and then looked like a different wrestler today wrestling him.
That happens with freshmen.
Yeah.
You know, now he's just got to realize now next week's a whole new week and go from there. And
That's right.
That's
start all over.
Everyone's 0-0 next week.
Yeah, well, you know, he'll draw that number 1 seed out of someplace, and that's going to be a tough way to start. But you know, you've talked about it a number of times that these guys have very little experience, and he's wrestled 2 years, including junior high.
Meddings let him go.
This is experience, isn't it?
That's it, and it's only his second year ever wrestling, so hey, just to make it to districts is a big deal, and we're just going to build on this.
And we had some of his matches earlier when we at your place. We televised, and he had a nice up and down match, but he was able to win the one, and
That's how it is, fresh. It's up and down.
Yeah, right.
You know.
So,
but the thing is with him though, you never count him out of a match. You know, he was an underdog coming in, seeded 5th. To be up there and knock off a tough Mason kid in his console semi match to get there was a big deal.
Sure.
So
now there's
it's kind of the old expression. I don't care what you did before. It's just what you're doing today that really matters. Right now,
it's about getting that top 4 and move on to the next week.
That's right.
And here's a perfect example: 3-3 at this match. And this, they're both in, but it makes a big difference if to win this match, if you're the number 1 versus you're wrestling a number 4 kid versus a number 2 wrestling a kid who's also just
coming out with a number 2 finish, because you picked up that third place kid that maybe lost the really close match to the number 1, and he was trying to get even. There's so many head games out here.
And these are 2 tough kids right here wrestling. Yeah. I noticed Alexander's is his first time getting down to this weight, so it's interesting to see.
Right. He hasn't thrown, but he likes to throw at 38. I've seen him do that,
Tough too. Meddings is always tough too.
Right. 17 seconds. Nothing.
So tell us, Coach, what do you think about this season now?
Oh, not bad. I can't be too disappointed. 3 district qualifiers, you know, and we got 2 more going for the fifth place match.
Oh my gosh.
That's the time to get it.
Just walked right into that.
8 seconds to go. Right out wins it.
Boy, that was. I think he just had a brain clamp there.
Heck of a turn for that Princeton kid.
Yeah.
Well, we've been watching your program grow under your leadership here the last couple of years, and you know, you're doing a fine job, and we hope that you know, you keep the Warriors pounding along. Here we're going to see that takedown that wins this match.
He just kind of walked right into it.
Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't.
He stepped right up into it.
Didn't underhook nothing. Just
absolutely. Yep. So,
yeah, well,
good luck to you, Jason,
you.
and we'll see you next week. Now,
Appreciate
that's the great part.
Oh, here. 3 qualifiers.
We got 3 qualifiers last year, just 1, so that was my first year last year, so that's progress. You know, we got 5 people placing. Last year we placed 2, and one last year got 6, and the other one got 4th, but so we've built onto something, and everyone's coming back, so
that's
each year we're looking to get a few more in there.
That's right.
Out, so.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you again for having me.
See you next week.
Appreciate all you do.
Okay, and we're moving on into the next weight class, 138. What did we do with our...
Dave's got them all down there. Just put right there, under your hand. Sam Williams versus Caleb Walden. Got another Mason guy here, another Mason Elder matchup.
Who do I got? Caleb Walden, senior, 38-7, second-year starter.
District qualifier last year. Now we got a little blood time here. So
he had blood. He bled in the semifinals too. He had a couple times he had to stop for. So this is Sam Williams. He's a junior from Elder, and he was a state qualifier as a freshman, but did not return last year. He won the league as a freshman.
He was a little smaller when he was that.
Yeah, a 106 pounder.
I remember that. Yeah.
And now he's up here with the big boys, and he took 4th in the league this year. He won the coaches. He was 8th at the Coaches Classic, 5th at the CIT, and the Delaware Hayes tournament. He was 4th. So, you know, he's the kind of a guy that had better come into his own this year, because next he's going to be out of here before he even realizes it. It's amazing how short the time between the junior and senior seasons are.
Well, he's down 2-0 to Caleb Walden. Walden basically rode him for a few seconds, let him go. 2-1. Walden pretty impressive, 70 wins in 2 years.
Walden is very determined to get that shrug to score.
Well, I tell you what, I think he cut that. He hasn't given the escape, so it's still only 4-1. So. Yeah, of course, escape. It's got to be at least an escape.
That took place right here in front of us, and we can't see the line from where our situation is here. But we go back out. Here's the replay. You can see they're right at the.
Yeah, I don't know how that's not escape.
I don't know where the.
Well, there's no takedown out of bounds. So.
Yeah, so they're on the.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about earlier. That may be something that changes next year. We may move to more of the collegiate style of scoring, where if it starts inbounds, you can continue it.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that the high school mats aren't big enough. If you look at
many, yeah, that's true.
And that's a great idea, but you just don't have a room. Like on this one, you're against the side, both cases. And you need a little more space. If you're going to let them wrestle with just 1 foot in, you need another 2 to 3 feet on each side of these things.
And they're out.
And that's it for the period. 4-2.
They got to start and stop the clock.
Yeah.
Here we go again, right here.
It's like you can't make a basket in 0.3 of a second, so you probably can't get a takedown either.
I guess not. Although, you know, you look at some of those records on takedowns, you know, the takedown records, some of them are suspicious. I had a kid on there one time that had one in 6 seconds, and I didn't even believe it.
Fastest pins and stuff.
Yeah. Takedown pin, 6 seconds. I didn't even believe it. Although he certainly believes it. He tells everybody
kid,
that'll listen that he got it, you know.
Cuts him loose again. 4-3. Doesn't really ride hard. He likes being on his feet. Walden, that is. But Williams has got.
Well, I think that's true to a very large extent with Mason wrestlers in general. There's a tendency to prefer getting it up. Let's get up on the feet and go after it.
Well, now we're looking at college wrestling all over.
Yeah. I saw your alma mater, as a matter of fact, the other night.
Against IU?
Yeah.
We won.
Well, you know, I couldn't figure it out because I think I fell asleep.
We won.
It was too late. I figured you won since you wouldn't have asked otherwise.
I'm wearing my shirt today, so yeah, we won. I tell you what, here's the other thing. If they here's the college rule they should put in, and that's warning to the warning, you know, team warning if you go over and question the authority, official. Yeah. Second time. They're both trying to have a little head shrug.
They both use the same,
either
the shrug or the head and arm.
Well,
they're gonna.
Usually the guy with the head on stays on top, has the better shot, but you know.
That's good.
Walden's in. Yeah, Walden's in on Williams, pretty good there.
And Williams comes right back and negates it. Well,
yeah, he didn't hold it.
They're going to go out. There they are. They're out of bounds.
All right, 35 seconds still in the second period. 4-3.
In favor of Walden.
I'm sorry about that. The official threw
the official did?
The official threw the nose plug into the crowd, and some kid caught it and went, what did I just catch? There's
did he call it?
Yeah, he cried out, called potentially dangerous. 6-3. Mason coaches weren't happy with that particular thing. You see.
Work up.
Well, Williams is a remarkable counter wrestler. He's able to just counter everything that Walden uses, and Williams scrambles around. This is great scramble wrestling.
6-3, third period. Getting very close to stalling there, hanging on that leg. Illegal hold. Probably a illegal hold on Elder. Said it crossed his face.
Did we?
Well,
here's
the backup
on replay.
The backup judge calls this, or backup official. So he says he's on his face.
Oh, okay. There, I saw where the hand was on the face trying to pull that off. Yeah, I see where it was.
7-3, minute and 50 to go. Tell you what, you got to work up there. Walden, you know. Oh, he turned right into that.
Man, turn into that.
There you go. He got it. Yeah, you want to bring those hands close to the head, not toward the knee, so you can keep it tight.
Head to the knee, not knee to the head. And they're up and out.
9-4.
Both up. 9-4.
Wallen's pretty much in control here. He's been better on his feet the whole match, so feels pretty comfortable here, actually.
I guess that's the reason the coaches are so, they go weight class almost coaching now. So they know these guys and they know their tendencies and their capacities all the way through.
There's could be a. He brings the arm out. Stepped out with his right foot. Well, that's at schools, Dave, that have 5 coaches. Mason and Elder.
At least 5.
Yeah. Some of the coach guys only have one coach. He's in there all the time. 9-6. Just like a little bull rush there. 30 seconds. I tell you what, that illegal hold looms very big now. Instead of being a 2-point lead, it's a 3-point. It's going to be a 4. He's going to cut him loose. Just automatic start. So it's 10-6. 10-6.
Again, it was one of those straight-in shots that
you can't.
You got to create an angle on that shot.
Yeah, nothing much there.
That's a good way to run the clock out.
Well, he's in trouble. He's just giving up a takedown right now. And back.
Yep.
Short time!
That's the match.
13-6.
Yep. 13-6.
They didn't have much choice there. He had to try something.
With Caleb Walden of Mason taking home a winner's status at 138 pounds. And we're coming up on 145 pounds. And I think that we're waiting again. Well, no, we're not. We're going directly to it. Okay. At 145 pounds, a sophomore from Elder. He's the number 2 seed in this weight. This is Connor Craig. And last year as a freshman, he won the league, but that was it. He's here now as a sophomore.
Well, Mason's got a sophomore also, Frank Stein. He's 30-12. Also plays a little baseball. He just got taken down, 2-point.
Craig with the takedown.
Yeah, 30-12.
Taking second place from Elder High School is Samuel Williams.
Good job, buddy. Knees together and forward. Inside, right there. Stay up. Keep your leg up on your feet. There it is.
Craig uses that leg in and a half Nelson kind of interestingly.
He's not getting much elevation with it there. He's starting to lift it up a little bit. See, he needs to turn that right knee outward. If he would turn that knee out, over cross like that, he'd get a lot more elevation on that hip. So you just kind of rotate that out and then takes the pressure off. Stein gets that out of there. Back to it.
Well, he rides that tight. That's a blanket ride he's got in there.
20 seconds.
Just right up snug and tight. He's got the takedown
forcing the head now.
Got a half Nelson.
Yeah, he needs to push that head under and drive it forward toward us, basically straight at us. But you got to lift that elbow, lift that knee, hip. Okay.
That's the end of the first period with
Stein up 2-0.
Craig of
Or it's
Elder.
yeah,
It's Connor Craig.
beating Stein 2-0.
Craig is a big, tall, lanky kid too.
Yeah, there's it helps with when you're riding the legs. You got a little more leverage.
Yeah. There, throws the leg up and over.
Well, he's still got the Mason wrestler still holding.
Yeah, he's got that shoulder trap, or that arm trapped underneath.
He needs to get up on his toes right now, like that. There you go. Get up on his toes.
Watch his back. We're in control.
Now he's got the 2. 4 points.
Even match with 1:20 left in the second period.
No, it's 4-0. They got the score wrong. Something.
It was 2-2, right?
Yes.
No, it's 4-0.
Stay on that.
4-0. Elder, Connor Craig.
You're right.
They've got it. We just got our graphics backwards, but we'll correct that shortly.
Yeah, there's a confusion point between our truck and the scoreboard here. They post the number in green, but it's under the
Yeah, they got it.
and green is the home wrestler.
Elders 4. Yeah, they've got the scoreboard wrong. That's all.
The elder kid is leading 4-0.
So here we go. So Connor from Elder leads Stein Mason 4-0. 22 seconds. And coaching complaining. Here we go. 22 seconds left here in the second period.
There's a fine line that coaches have to follow in dealing with the referee.
Ooh, he's got the boots in pretty good here. Now he wants to push the head down. Stretch that out. Oh, well, it's not scoring points. It's tiring him out. Oh, that's going to hurt that shoulder a little bit. That's tight. Okay, that's the end of the second period.
And we remain 4-0.
When Mason says,
Connor
Jackson says, I'm not going down underneath there. I'm not letting him throw. We'll go from our feet.
He's had enough of those legs.
I can do better there.
Yeah.
And Elder got a little greedy there. Instead of just taking the takedown, tried to get the back points there. Stein in on the leg.
He gets in there really nice.
But
Craig he's one of those stringy wrestlers that comes at you. He's a little unorthodox, but he certainly uses his length to a distinct advantage all the time.
But he's working with it. He's just not sitting on it. You might think that that's just stalling, but he's working hard.
He's outside.
Yeah, pulling on it, forcing the head down.
I want to thank Dr. Daly.
Coach from Elder is going to tell him to let him go because he's taken him down 3 times. Six to 1, even though the one was a reversal, it was almost basically a takedown.
Yeah, we get used to seeing these
2 more
finals matches when we're looking at the difference between these finals and the finals at Columbus. There's a big difference because here, where you finish really matters. Up there, you don't want to lose. and so you don't. I think there's a lot more. I don't want to say stalling, but a lot of defensive wrestling that goes on in the championship bouts.
Well, I think you want to. In the finals, I think it's.
These guys
seems
got
the semifinals matches have a lot more.
Oh yeah. Meaning?
Yeah, enthusiasm.
Well, for those of you who are watching this show, you know that a week from now we'll be covering the district tournament from Kettering Fairmont, and that will bring together the Lebanon, the Hamilton, and the two Centerville sectionals, and from there we will be going on to the state tournament. Now, this year coverage of the state tournament is actually going to expand for Waycross. We're going to cover the semifinals on Friday night, as well as the consolation finals on Saturday, the Mayhem Day, when we have 8 mats all running simultaneously, and we're trying to figure out where things are. We will not be able to bring you the championship bouts because of the exclusivity granted by OHSAA to Time Warner Sports. But you'll be able to get all of Waycross community media, not only via your cable vision and your Cincinnati Bell, what do they call that? Fiber optics.
Fiber optics.
You say it right there. Fiber optics.
Yeah, it is. That's what
as
their name
well
is.
as www.waycross.tv, and you can get it on demand there or on Facebook.
Of course, as you know, the state finals will be over when you see this, so don't turn it on. Don't check your newspaper because we're not allowed to show this ahead of time.
Yes.
To prevent anybody scouting our guys.
That's right.
Well, this will be a good match, Dave. Elder Fairfield, 2 of the older programs around. And interesting for Fairfield, Dylan Leneve. He was injured early in the year. In fact, he got injured. We saw it on tape at the SWOCA finals where he took second up front of his back. So he's only got 16 matches in. I was going to tell you, it'd be interesting to see how his conditioning is, but conditioning is not important right now.
Tyreek Evans, who's a freshman, and is 34-11 on the season, is here, and he's fighting for his very existence out there.
Leneve is really,
I don't think he's going to get
smart
out.
if he keeps him. There it is. And that was excellent opportunity there.
There's one of the really top kids in. That's one of the really top kids coming out of our area, I think, is Leneve.
And you can speak to this, Dave, because you had a wrestler we spoke of earlier who got hurt at the beginning of the year and came back basically for sectionals. And kind of, you said, I remember you saying in the past, you think it kind of helped him, made him fresher and less dinged up.
Yep.
So this might be a great opportunity for Dylan to just start rolling now.
Yeah, that's he squeaked in there at the end of the season and last year, and you could see that there was that he had a lot going for him, and now he's coming back off this injury, and that's I'm really a proponent of shortening the season. I just think we put our kids into too many competitions during the extent of the season.
Well, especially some of them go to these tournaments and they'll have 8 matches.
Yep.
Here comes, we're going to see the pin here. You can see that shoulder is
coming
inexorably coming down to the
down.
mat, and once he
There,
does that, it's over.
It's on.
And we're going to wait here for the
We're waiting for the other matches
consolation
to go.
match.
Yeah. Maybe we could see a full list of our underwriters again. We're looking now at This must be 152 pounds. Mason versus St. Xavier.
Yeah, third and fourth place. We don't have the names.
Third place, and I don't have. I had a bracket, but my bracket has disappeared.
And you know, this, to be honest with you, I think this third and fourth place match is more critical to them than the first and second, because man, you finish third, you get a guy that has one loss at sectionals just like you. You finish fourth, you get a guy that's undefeated at sectionals. It's a big difference.
It's Joey Barreau, a sophomore, 15 and 10 from St. Xavier. And he's wrestling a lad from Mason. That's Nick Agostino, who's the number 2 seed, actually was knocked off in the semifinals. Evans of Elder.
I tell you, the freshman Evans, you know, we didn't get to talk about him too much, but he's had a outstanding freshman year. We've seen him a couple times. He's a pretty strong athlete. I've seen him a couple pins. You know, the pin is the great equalizer, and that kid could pin. And unfortunately, it also works the other way.
Yeah. It's D'Agostino coming up off the bottom and gets an escape. We do not know what the score is down there because we can't see the scoreboard. But D'Agostino got the takedown as well. This is underwritten by Sensei Sub-Zero. Steve Burks, the president and CEO of that organization. Guy who's gone through the mats here locally and at Miami.
I was just talking to Fairfield coaches, and I said, well, the conditioning doesn't matter if you only go 1 minute in the first piece. So that's what we told them. don't waste time. So.
That's a whole transformation taking place at Fairfield. I took the opportunity to sit down with one of the real iconoclastic guys in the sport, Ron Masonic, during the consolation wrestlebacks this afternoon. Listened to a lot of Ron's take on the world. Masonic has a lot of ideas about things. You know, he's pretty old school and very successful. It's got to be 3-2 down there.
I saw the picture. They put that up out front. So the 2 oldest guys in the gym. And you 2 guys.
I don't know. Actually, Ron is a little older than I, and he coached a lot longer than I, and a lot better. You gotta get,
I don't know. I thought it was, you know, the most wisdom. Is what it was. The 2 guys with the most wisdom.
Well, then we added Chris Shoemaker, and
well, there was wisdom went out the window there. Old Chris, our old floor manager from the state tournament. We miss him.
D'Agostino comes away as the winner for Mason down there. And now we're going to get to the 160-pound matches. But Jason Laughlin, who wrestled for Ron and has stepped in to assume the responsibility for that great program at Fairfield, is, boy, you talk about a real gentleman. He is a gentleman in the old-fashioned.
Yeah, they haven't missed a step. They just, most of the coaching staff's still the same.
Pretty much so. They've added some new faces, but pretty much the same guys.
But they're Fairfield guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're still.
Yeah.
Just repeating what Ron told them 10 years ago.
So here at 160 pounds from Elder, the number 2 seed is Adam Taylor. He's a senior, and he's 26 and 7. He won the Delaware Hayes tournament this year. He wants to go into the Navy at the end of this season, at the end of this high school career. From Fairfield, who we got?
Jacob Bria is 11th, a junior, 29-3. Wrestled varsity last year, had 20 wins. Fairfield Invitational champ, Kinston Invitational champ. Cadet Greco state champ this summer. And guess what? He probably works out with, he and Dylan Neve work out with each other, I would bet. So what does that say, you know? Have your two best wrestlers running against each other every day in practice.
Yeah.
Makes you better.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. There's two levels of guys that are in this sport. There are the guys who are here and they are competing and they are benefiting from it. And then there are guys who are here with the intention of maximizing their opportunity. And it's so evident as you watch a whole sectional tournament how that division takes place. It's also interesting to see. That's a nice idea.
Well, they're working that head, a little shrug, and the side of the mat. 11 seconds.
You're going to see this trip again from
almost like almost a little.
Yeah, it's almost a Russian. I don't know. I'm not sure quite how to describe that. But it was effective. It was out of bounds.
Like a little Russian arm drag kind of thing on the opposite side.
Yeah. I think we have another of the Waycross kids wrestling in this weight class. Must be going for fifth. We can't see him.
Oh, there.
Boy, there's a lift.
He just picked him up and got two.
Wow.
Well, I told you he was Greco-Roman state champ. That's
tell you what,
he's got him in
absolutely
good
Greco there.
Yeah. Well, he's just got strength.
And like you said before, look who he's training for.
Well, he's in real good shape right here. He's in real good shape. And if he just stays there with a minute 27 seconds, well, he's got to reach out, take that wrist up there that he's got the elbow.
Take the elbow and lift it.
If he took his left hand and took the Elders wrestlers.
Taylor is not.
That swears,
give in here. He's fighting his very best. He comes back to belly down.
That's
a
a
great
big.
job.
It's a lot of work.
Takes the score 5-0 here in the second period.
Now, don't let as a Fairfield wrestler, you don't want to let him recuperate. Don't let him cover. Just take the same thing. Get the wrist. He's got the wrist. Now he's going to come again. He's going to let the weight off him. He's going to do it again. Same thing. Boy, he's strong on his feet. He likes you to come up.
Yeah. Please stand up. It makes it easier for me to
he's got that. It's not even a spiral. It's that.
Yeah, that trap. Yeah.
He's letting you come up. Yeah, if you notice, you can see the elder kids breathing hard.
Yeah,
working.
Look at Taylor's expressions down there. He's really having to work just to maintain
keep
belly
himself
down.
off his back. Yeah. All right, 5-0. He's going to go straight on your feet. Coach Wayhoff in the corner telling him, keep your hands down. Change your levels, change your direct levels, which is what he's doing.
Score on that, transition that.
Yeah, this is perfect with Greco. You want a guy pushing into you like that.
There's a good example of what you were talking about before, changing that angle.
Yep, getting outside, 7-0. Continually working for back points, really putting the pressure on, really wrestling a good match here.
Yeah, and Taylor is working hard. This guy is not. He's not laying down out there. He's trying his very level best to get out. He's being whammied though. Is that a word? Whammied? I don't know.
Well, 7-1. And this is what could get interesting because well, Taylor's got to go look for the big move, the big throw. This could be just where Felder, the Fairfield wrestler, probably be looking for the same thing.
Snagged that single again.
Yeah. And a low single this time. So from being up, trying to Merkel. Yep, 2 points Elder. Eight, 8-3. 16 seconds.
I think Fairfield's got a keeper here. This kid's a real McCoy.
Yeah, probably should just, again, now Dave, let's see if he rotates.
Hold your ground. Head up. Head up. 5 seconds. Knees up. Knees up. Knees up.
There we have it. The final is 8-3, and Griff of Fairfield.
Just look at how they're walking off the mat.
160-pound championship.
I think the Elder wrestler is pretty worn out, and he had a tough match. It's a tough match.
You know, I used to tell kids that where they had the opportunity to, find somebody they were having a pretty good time with. Make sure he always remembers who beat him. Make him remember.
Yeah.
So the next time they'll be dreading it.
Exactly. I don't want to go out there.
Yeah.
Well, now we got another Elders run their string. They got a lot of the upper weights.
Yeah, they do.
They lose. Their heavyweight got hurt early in the year, so they won't have a heavyweight. But they got some upper weights.
No, they don't. It's Winton Woods and Mount Healthy at heavyweight.
I think the Mount Healthy guy's got 40 pins or something like that.
Yeah, he's a horse. Not real tall. That's a big worry I think a lot of people have with him, but that doesn't mean necessarily bad. 170 pounds, the number 2 seed at this weight from Elder High School, Mark Adams. He is as I say, a senior. He's 25-7 now, with a career record of like 49-16. He has not won any tournament this year, nor has he advanced beyond here this year either.
Well, Cameron Pitts is a senior. Looks like he's 35-8 for the year. Finished 4.0 grade point, played football, first-year starter, and he's joining the Marines. So
Mark Adams hopes to become a dentist. How many times have we seen on our information sheets a guy who wants to be a dentist?
Well, I think it fits because he likes to inflict pain.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah.
And that is required in the dental school, isn't it?
I don't know. I hope not. Now they knock you out, I think.
He can certainly pull teeth. I can tell you that right now, just looking at him.
All right, here we go.
Cameron Pitts.
I think we got 2 pretty good specimens here. So we might see there's not much body fat on that mat.
No. And I see down on the other mat we have a Coleraine wrestler.
That is
underway.
Yep, we've covered him. Let's see.
That's Albert.
Yeah, Albert, right. Yep.
Reviewing the results for
Yep.
the 160 pounds weight.
Chris Albert.
Chris Albert, my one of my old wrestling teammates from Mount Healthy's nephew.
Oh, really?
Yep.
He's wrestling Julius Crosty for third place.
Sixth place from Princeton High School is Zach Johnson.
Albert had a smash bang match here in the semifinals. He's very aggressive. There were a lot of stuff that happened off out of bounds.
And the first place matchup of the 160 pound weight class, your winner by decision from Fairfield High School, Jacob Priya. Taking second place from Elder High School is Andrew Taylor.
This 170, the next, you know, this is a lot of athleticism, you know, bigger athletes here, stronger guys. Things happen in a hurry. Yeah, they certainly can.
Yeah, these guys, they can make it happen. You're right. In a hurry. This is a nice facility here. It reminds me of Dayton, too, you know.
Well, it's got, yeah, the seats on the ends of at each end of the arena.
Yeah, but you know what they did here that really screwed it up? Those are concrete bleachers, both ends. And so, therefore, they don't have enough room to put 3 mats down. I guess it's understandable. This is Hamilton, right? They do play basketball here. And I just don't think they thought of it.
We're the big blue.
Yep. I worked here in Hamilton many years ago when they went to the state finals and won it. And this town dearly loves its basketball. Being right next door to Middletown,
sure.
You know, and they had this is basketball junkieville here.
Well, not much happened in that first period.
Yeah, I think these two are a little bit leery of one another.
Here we go. Now 2-on-1 on the wrist. You see he's got that leg up in the air. He wraps that leg up. Elder can't get to their base, you know, if he elevates. Now he's got it out, so now he's coming back up.
Now there's where we're talking about that, you know, the difference between an aggressive leg ride and a...
Right. So there you got a triangle stance.
Yep.
So he got up and got his hips up high. So here we go, 1-0. If these guys go down on the, good.
Sweet
ankle pick, yeah. Bring him back to the middle on that. There you go, 3 points. Put that elbow right. 40 seconds. Get escape. All right, 3-1. 25 seconds left here in the second period. Now Mason doesn't have to do anything right now. Yeah, because he'll get his escape the third period and then get the takedown. So there's no sense forcing the issue right now. Gather yourself. You're only down 2.
Right now is when you begin to look for those counter takedowns, you know, because
right. But easy to set up or something in the third period here. 3-1.
Pitts has to come after it now, and Adams can take a look at it. nice carry there. I think it's appropriate that Cincinnati Functional Fitness is the underwriter.
All right.
For this weight class, because these guys,
they look like they've been working out.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 3-2. So it still comes down to can you
like
get a takedown?
They look like you.
Yeah.
Did you wear your ring?
No.
Oh, you didn't wear your ring?
Not the one. The other one hasn't come yet.
Oh man, I was anxious to see it. I wasn't sure you'd be able to carry it in here by yourself.
I haven't received it yet, so it's coming.
Yeah,
I
those
need him
of
to
you out there,
balance.
Greg will probably manage to get it here in time for the. Here's that takedown attempt right there.
Yeah. Well, I
Greg,
do what
Greg
these
played
guys
on
do.
it. Greg played on a softball team that won the national championship here. What was that? The 75 and under league? Is that it?
60 and over.
60 and older. Over 60.
I had to
league.
wait till I got old enough to do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't run with these young boys, I can tell you that. These guys would wear me out in 10 seconds.
Well, you told me you didn't have to run because you always knocked it out of the park.
I think that was not big enough for that.
Oh.
I wrestled 112, remember, not 170 like these guys. These guys can knock it out of the park. I wish I was put together like this. 33 seconds, so now Mason's got to pick it up. Now is the time. Okay, now
You're in third period. You got 30 seconds.
But you know he's got plenty of time.
You better crank it up. You got plenty of time to do it.
But you got to be moving forward. Yeah,
Not
too
in a
far
straight
away.
line.
Yep. Just what we talked about, getting angles, setting things up. And what he didn't do is front headlock by Fitz. He's
a little Jap whizzer. Yep.
3-2. Tough match.
Yeah. Two kids going hard at it. With Mark Adams of Elder coming away the victor over Cameron Pitts of Mason.
Three, 3-2. All right, now we go to. They keep getting bigger, but
They do,
still
don't
look.
they?
They still look like Mason guys to me. I don't know.
Yeah, they keep coming out here.
Now this one we get to. First time we've seen a Harrison wrestler in the finals. We've seen several of them over at the 3rd and 4th. Chad Dennis, former Fairfield.
I don't think there's a Harrison in the finals.
Right now. We're looking at him.
Yes, that's true. There's another one. I mean, you know what happened? I didn't see this guy wrestle, but there's a 182 pounds. Who is that Harrison wrestler?
His name is Nolan Ziner, Jr. 31-9 this year. He qualified for district last year, got 3rd. So, but he just got taken down rather quickly by the Mason wrestler.
This is Jordan Collins, who is a senior, I think. I can't.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. And he's 37-3. As a sophomore, he won the league, and he was runner-up as a junior. And I don't know what happened here. He didn't indicate what he did this year in the league. But he's 37-3.
Yeah, I think he won.
And wrestling the schedule that Mason has wrestled.
Well, I've watched Jordan wrestle for a few years. In fact, 2 years ago, he was the 38-pounder. And he's won a number of matches. And he's size. He's grown every year.
Yeah.
Started out or 32-pounder, actually. 20 as a freshman, 32. Then he jumped up to 60 last year. Now he's 82. So reversal. Doesn't do what he used to do. He used to be a big fireman carry guy when he was at the 120 or 30. You don't really do that too often at the bigger weights. You can do it, but he's got a lot of smaller size wrestler skills that you don't see in 82-pounders a lot. He's kind of grown into it every year. Not much going on. 2-2. That's the end of the first period. So it looked real quick, like Ziner was kind of overmatched, but you know, he just wasn't quite ready to come out. And
well,
now it looks like he's wrestling.
Guy has 9 losses on the senior season. You know, he's been around. He knows he's got 29 wins. That's a.
You know, his coach Chad Dennis, former college wrestler, former Fairfield wrestler. Another one of Coach Ron Masonic's.
One of Ron's kids, yeah.
And so, you know, Chad knows how to wrestle. Escape for Collins. Now let's see what happens here. So I think Collins is better on his feet than he is as a mat wrestler.
Well, you do see a lot of firemen's carry and dumps and that stuff out of the Mason kids on a consistent basis.
Well, they'll set that up. They'll hit the single. They'll shoot the single, and then they'll get that
change
underhook.
off.
Exactly. They go to the second and third move.
That's right.
Interesting, like I said, my nephew from West wrestled Jordan when they were sophomores at 32. Collins has moved up to 82, and Andy's still at 38 pounds.
Is exactly what we were
there you go.
Talk about.
Switch off to the double. Yeah, there you go. So I think he hurt his shoulder.
I think I do too. That or
is his shoulder or his knee?
Knee. He went down pretty hard, that's for sure.
Here we're going to see it. Try to slips off, and he kind of. I tell you, there's a whole lot of them that could be hurting after that.
Yeah.
So 5-2, 35 seconds left.
Once again, we had to thank all of the trainers that are here providing care for these athletes. Fortunately, we haven't had the major injuries, and that's always this stage of the season a big worry.
Well, 28 seconds left here in the second period. Collins coming out a little bit with a spiral right, not doing. Oh, pretty good.
That was a nice stand-up.
Yeah, he got up.
Cut.
Quickness, the cut, yeah.
Double overhook.
5-3 with 8 seconds.
I think
to
he
go.
wants to throw.
Yeah, I think he's blocking off.
I mean,
now.
well, maybe he's just blocking off. But man, I'll tell you what, you can sure throw from that.
Yeah.
Of course,
you can get throwed.
Yes, you can.
So, 5-3. He's going to cut him loose right now.
Collins was stepping inside that double overhook.
So 5-4. Again, it comes down to that takedown. He's got the underhook in here. He usually likes the fireman from the other side. But Ziner's got to force the action a little bit. Minute and 20. He's the one that's losing.
Yeah, but I don't think he wants to. These guys are getting so sophisticated in their.
I think they're pummeling pretty hard. I think he's going to come with something here pretty quick. He doesn't want to go underneath, that's for sure.
And he doesn't want to throw it too early, you know. Ooh, that was a bad shot.
See, I think he should throw it early. He's already proven he can escape twice.
Yeah.
So throw it early. If you miss it, oh well. If you hit it, you're up 3. you know, because it'll be 2-2. So go for it. Don't wait till there's 10 seconds when everybody in the gym knows what you're going to do. 30 seconds, okay. Somebody's got to pick up something here. You know, I'm finding a little... There you go, went to the high crotch series off the underhook. And I don't think he wants to be there. So. 15 seconds. Jordan's, Collins got to pop his head. There's the 2. 7-4. All right, that's the end of it. Yeah, we're going to see a familiar name coming up here. Familiar name in Cincinnati wrestling coming up next. For at one. That was the final score there. Jordan Collins won. So final score 7-4.
What are we at, 195?
195. Gary Traub from Sycamore, who we won the Coaches Classic, so we did that. He won the Fairfield Invitational. He won the Sycamore Invitational. So it sounds to me like he hasn't lost too many, and that means he's 38-0.
He is a real good one.
And his father,
he's sitting over here in the
John,
chair.
Big John, well familiar to us, very familiar with us, former wrestler himself for Sycamore.
Yep.
Heavyweight.
His opponent is Gage Brock from Elder. He's a senior. He won the league. He's won the league, the GCL twice, and he was runner-up twice. So he's a 4-time finalist there. He was 3rd at the Glenn Sample tournament.
He's in on the leg.
5th at Brecksville. And putting Traub down on the mat is hard. Remarkable balance. And he won the GCL this year at 195 pounds.
Yep, Traub's working a little 2-on-1.
A little inside trick.
Likes that little, yeah, he likes that little Merkel kind of move there.
Yeah.
40 seconds. Kind of looks over to his dad. You know, lock in the leg. Keep the hips down.
The only time I was able to sit next to the chair for one of my sons, he got hammered at the worst possible time in the district. It was ugly.
He's got that Merkel again. By that we mean he steps inside that leg.
There's a Peterson attempt.
He's going the wrong way.
Yeah, but
he's got to come this way.
Yeah, I understand, but he actually was there to use it, but didn't. And we're out of time.
Gary takes down. I was going to mention before us, we're all the way up to, what, 195. We haven't had a stall call yet.
Really?
We haven't seen one. Haven't had a single stalling call. Which kind of surprised me. I mean, I think we've seen a little stalling here and there. And we've had some pretty slow matches, but I haven't seen that fists. I haven't seen too many fists up in the air. All right, quick reversal. Oh, look out. Look out. Here it goes. I think he's in real trouble here. Now, if Traub can get his own head up off the mat. As soon as I see those feet up, it should be. I don't know what he's.
Yeah,
he's in a bad position.
Traub needs to rotate this way a little bit.
The official should get to another position.
Or sit up.
Yeah, he can't.
You got to get the head out from under there. There. Ooh, that may no.
Just put the.
Got to get the half in deeper there.
Well, it looks pretty good
That's
to me.
pretty good now.
Now he's got the back. There we go. I think it was there 20 seconds ago. All right, that's the end of that one. Now we have to wait for the third and fourth place matches. I find that so useless. I don't know what that rule accomplishes. We're not
What's that?
Waiting for the other weight there, you know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know that is a rule. It's the way they. It's just the way they do it.
You're not offering. You know, you're not having awards and everything anyway.
Right.
So just wrestle.
Yeah, there's nothing. I guess the winners get a bracket. That's about it here. 220 pounds.
220. We're going to see it. Quite honestly, we've had several, you know, both the early weight wrestlers for Mason and now at 220 pounds for Cole Jones. Ranked #1 in the state, finished 4th last year. We interviewed him up there. So we got 3 returning guys that you and I have talked to.
Here's Traub at that finish here.
Yeah, see if he took his knee and just slid that arm out.
Yeah, he made that harder than he needed to.
See when he goes up in the air like that?
You can't even see it in there.
He's pinned right there.
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
But, you know, from the official standpoint, you're supposed to be able to see it.
Right.
Okay, we're coming up to 120 pounds. Kevin Riley.
Well,
Tri-Hell.
Hold on.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
220 pounds.
What did I say?
120 pounds.
I'm tired.
These guys are a lot bigger than that, Dave. Yeah.
There's 2 of them in every uniform. Yeah.
So. Well, anyway, 220. We're watching the 3rd place 195 match right now.
That's a Walnut Hills Eagle down there.
Yeah.
They have returned. They used to have years back. Walnut Hills has some really decent wrestlers back in the day, and then it kind of went away, and then now they're back again. You know, it's their whole athletic program at Walnut Hills has been on the upswing the last several years, I think.
You know, open enrollment can hurt or help. You know, you lose kids that move to other schools, but you know.
Well, of course, Walnut Hills with the entry exam
makes it a little.
That's a little bit different than open enrollment.
Yeah, but it is. So we're just waiting here. There's Kevin Riley. Is going to be. He's the sponsor for this weight?
He's the underwriter for this weight. Very appropriate, right?
I think so. Kevin was pretty good big man for CNX. Okay, I think we're going to show you the sponsors right now.
We're going to take a look at all our sponsors here. And we'll come back to Dr. Riley and the 220-pound class. SWOCA, Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association, started out sponsoring this thing 24 years ago.
How long we've been doing it?
Yeah. And
seems like yesterday.
Steve Riley Daly has been, I combined 2 doctors. Steve Daly has been supporting it about that long, although he was probably just a kid then.
Right, and so Dr. Kevin Riley, there you go.
Yeah, and Kevin undoubtedly was. So, you know, these guys.
And we'll see them at the state tournament. They'll be down on. Will they be on the mats this year? They've helped.
Well, I'm sure that Steve is.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Keller and Klein, the guys that we don't know what the legal factor is that goes on with that company, but we didn't ask too many questions.
I think just
we took the money and didn't ask many questions.
Good-looking guys. That's all.
Is that what it is? Foster and Motley. You need financial planning. You could use this. You need to go see Dave Foster.
He will help me out.
He will help you out.
Probably tell me to give you guys more money.
Probably help by finding a place offshore for you. Sensei Functional Fitness.
What do they do there, Dave?
What do they do?
Yeah.
They make you functionally fit. No, it's sports-specific training.
That's what I said. Get you to a
Sports
particular
specific.
sport that you match
Can you
up.
say that? Sports
Not 3 times.
That's hard.
General advertising products.
If you want to advertise, here's the place to go. Go see Bruce Howland at General Advertising Products. It's a good way to get your name around. Since a Sub-Zero, I just had the situation where I was using Sub-Zero product just a little bit ago. I got a knee exchange, a new knee, and the product during the rehab period, I had to ice down all the time, and I used the Sub-Zero cold pack to make that a really good deal. Tim Cunningham, who sells golf carts and has Greg and he are going to start a new business called Golf Cart Polo. That way Tim sells golf carts and Greg shows his proficiency of hitting balls.
We'll do that next year. Well, I got some updates here.
Oh.
At Centerville, Sectional 1, the first place was Lakota West. Second place, Northmont, Dayton Northmont, and third place, Lakota East.
Oh,
Don't have total points on that. At Lebanon, Moeller, 245, Lebanon 200, Glen Estee 197. So, and as I recall, I think Glen Estee and Moeller had 5 head-to-head matches in the finals.
Yeah.
So
they had a heck of a duel this year too.
Right. In the state duels, yeah.
Yeah.
We had Oak Hills finish 4th, Loveland 5th, and LaSalle 6th. Milford 7th, Northwest 8th, Anderson 9, Turpin 10. That's in the Lebanon section. I've got, I'm going to go up here in a second, see if I can get us the results from the Ross sectionals. Here we go.
This is Greg, our technological whiz here.
D2 at Batavia.
I have a cell phone, and that's all I can do is make telephone calls.
Yeah, sometimes you don't answer.
Yeah, well, I don't, because I don't hear it.
So,
there you are.
Here we go. We're working. Western Brown, 1. Beat Ross, 2nd place.
Oh, wow.
New Richmond, 3rd. Telawanda, Norwood, Wyoming, Goshen, Taylor 8th, 9 McNick. So,
wow.
The modern age.
Western Brown, eh?
Yeah, we're
that's an interesting
see who else
idea.
we can find up. Yeah. So we're trying to catch up, Dave. You know, we're trying to keep up with
the
these
guys.
young guys.
The guys in the truck said that they thought you were taking a selfie, but you didn't include me in it, so I knew that you weren't. You always put me in so you look better.
That leaves me a lot of room to. There, my arm's not long enough is all I'm going to tell you. We'll leave it at that. Let's see if I can find anything else.
Our foreign correspondent, Rick Stegmeyer, called with the information also.
Well, yeah.
Stegmeyer.
And Danielle Tracy from Ross sent us that. There we got a selfie of our selfies. Yeah. There you go. Is it good?
So we were told that that I lost my track completely. I don't know what it was. Well, we're now looking around the room because I think that match down there with the Walnut Hills Eagles wrestler, I think he's getting every inch or every moment of time on the mat since they haven't been there very often. Oh, I know what it was. We were watching him in the semifinals with Tigray Scales sitting beside us.
Oh,
Tigray's here.
State runner-up at 195 last
year.
Yeah.
He plays football over in Indiana now, and I said, Tigray, I thought they were going to bulk you up over there. And he said, well, I think they have. I said, you don't look that much bigger. said, "What do you weigh now?"
Like 220, right?
225,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
226.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he started at linebacker as a freshman.
Yes,
true
he
freshman,
did.
and
Yes, he did.
Made the all-freshman team. So.
Yep.
Great career. Okay, now we're ready.
Okay, here
Let's
we go.
talk.
220.
Okay, from St. Xavier, Cole Jones, a senior, ranked number 1 at 32-0, 4th in the state last year at 195.
And the number 1 seed here.
Well, he better be. Okay.
His opponent is Sheldon Sims from Mason, who is also a senior. He's been a 2-time district qualifier already. He was the James Memorial champion and the some of the Grover Classic champion, and wants to be a Marine too.
Well, they'll be against, there'll be a little rivalry here because Cole's attending the U.S. Military Academy at West Point next year. So
they'll probably, maybe they'll end up.
I don't think Marines like
probably
the
not.
Army.
Marines have a really great international wrestling program.
Well, I think I know Cole originally wanted to play football, so trying to do both because he was an honorable mention All-State or third-team All-State linebacker for the football team, something like that. So he may have the opportunity to wrestle and play football at the same place. So front headlock. It's got to bring him down off that stance, just like circle to the middle of the mat here. All right, so nothing going on. 10 seconds left in this first period.
Well, it's not, nothing's going on. It's that no scoring took place.
Yeah,
They're not doing a lot.
Yeah, a couple front headlocks, all we saw. But, this is their style. You do not want to get caught underneath. You do not. A mistake here can be fatal. 6 points.
Yep.
So it's just a different style. Here we go. Jones up. Hand control loose. He's 1 point. Took like 6 seconds here. So now, little head shrug. Jones bring it back to the middle of the mat.
These are both big guys. They are big and shrugged. Nice.
Switch that to the double.
Move. Nice change of direction all the way through there with Cole Jones. Great change of direction.
So got that. Now breaking down. Yeah. 3-0 here. 1 minute to go in the second. .45 seconds. I think blood time.
Got maybe a scratch on the side.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, they got a little warning there. St. X head coach went out there. The back first. Said, only 2 of you out here.
Interestingly, Dick Lowenstein was here for quite a while, and now I don't see Dick, and I'm thinking that that's a point of emphasis maybe. I know they'll make a big deal about it at the state tournament.
Jones is after it. 16 seconds. So 8 more seconds.
Heavy hands here.
So Sims is in this match here, 3-1.
Yeah,
he takes
obviously.
his escape, and it's going to come down to that, takedown. That's what you want to do is keep yourself.
And he hasn't given the evidence of being real offensive yet.
Right.
Jones has carried the match, I think.
But doesn't. He may have, but hasn't got anything to show for it.
Pull the head. Pull the chin. Right there. Get over the head. Get over the head. Pressure heavy, heavy.
Minute and a half. And Mason comes now. Again, here we go. Coming down to a takedown.
3-2.
So now Sims has got a. Got nothing. That's
Didn't follow up on that, did he?
No, well. At some point, Sims has got to make a. There he's in on the leg. Sims has gotten a little loose. A little loose there. He's not gotten his extended a little bit instead of being in tight. So now he's done everything he needs as far as not worrying about getting called for stalling or anything like that. Like I said, I haven't seen one all day. So. 25 seconds. We're down with 1 point with 15 seconds. You got to go. That's right. You had to do that. Ooh, got a little sloppy there.
More than a little sloppy. I was thinking that very thing. It's like neither one of them.
Now Jones
just
he needs to change level here. Just stay right there and we'll win this match. But not the way he probably wanted to, but he'll take it. First place. Still undefeated.
Cole Jones, the winner at 220.
Potential state champ. Yeah, this will be interesting, Dave.
Yep. Here's one of our Waycross boys finally here in the finals at 285 pounds. This is Jerron Cage. He's a sophomore, and he's 21-6 this year. He has not won a tournament, but he's been runner-up in a couple, the Fenwick tournament, the Sycamore tournament.
And he's got my alma mater, Kieran Deal. Wow, before we can even get him introduced, Kieran Deal is 30-0 at this point.
3 on the back.
And he's losing 5-0.
3 on the back.
Yeah.
And potentially dangerous.
Score is 5-0.
We have a question from the score table about the scoring.
Well,
there.
no, the clock didn't start on time. So 126. So
yeah, that's it. 5-0 with 1:26 left in the first period, and
yeah, he got a little excited. You don't have to do that. His coach for Mount Healthy, Elijah Butler, who former wrestler that we saw in the past.
Whoops.
Okay, 5-1. Just got
put
up.
his butt up. He came up. Cage almost fell off the front. Now Cage is the third seed in this.
Right.
He knocked off the number 2 seed, Mullen of Mason, with a pin.
Well, we're getting a little action here, that's for sure. He's going to wrap him up again now. Who's going to get it this time?
Whoa, and he's again on his back.
I don't think he's getting off this time.
I don't either.
Wow.
Well,
he's so excited.
Our Waycross guys get every bit of the value out of that one.
Well, I know he's upset, but he at least came back and
yeah.
Well,
that's a good wrap up right there.
That's a good way to finish.
That's a good wrap up. There we've got Young Cage, the winner at 285 pounds. I'm sure that the
here we're going to see it.
We're going to see this throw again.
Well,
it just took him over. It was a match of leverage there.
Yeah. They didn't break a sweat.
Match of leverage.
All right. Well, that's a good finish, Dave. We'll see everybody next week, or we'll hear from us next week at the Kettering Northmont for the district. And it should be exciting there, too. We'll see a bunch of these guys wrestling again.
Yes. We've got the volunteers of Waycross have carried on their usual fine performance. We had great help. There's plenty of work. If you're interested in being part of one of these programs, we are still looking for some workers perhaps for the state tournament in 2 weeks. Of course, you won't know that from this broadcast. This broadcast.
But there's other sports and there's other opportunities, and there's always next year. So.
825-2429 or contact waycross.tv/volunteer. You can get this again on YouTube and on demand at any time at waycross.tv. I'm Dave Beam. With me is Greg Klein and the volunteers of Waycross. Hope you enjoyed the production. If you do, come back and check out our next production, which will come to you from Kettering Fairmont with the district finals. And very soon thereafter, we'll be up in Columbus for the state tournament. So long, Greg. Have a really good weekend, and
see you next week, Dave.
Bring a ring next time. Okay. So long, folks.
Copies of this program are available for $20 each. Send program title along with your address and check or money order to Waycross Community Media. Attention Dub Coordinator, 2086 Waycross Road, Forest Park, Ohio 45240. Or buy securely on the web at www.waycross.tv.